Hello and welcome to another exciting Breakfast with Unity. I'm your host, Max Moreau, and we're going to do some reticle stuff today. So, I've already added some stuff to the project. I downloaded this CC0 crosshair reticle pack, and so this has been added to the project under third-party licensed, along with the licensing information. And I also made a little target box reticle because that reticle pack didn't really include one. So I just went into Pixelmator and just made a little pixel outline type dealy bob. And we're going to use this to kind of target some things today. So first of all, I want to just make a reticle because it's the easiest thing we're going to do today. And we'll just get this out of the way real quick. So to create a reticle, all you have to do is just go to Create UI and just do Image. And there, that's our reticle. We're done. No, I'm kidding. So here we go. This automatically has created a canvas that resizes with our screen and scales things appropriately and moves things appropriately. And it created this image that doesn't have a sprite yet, so we're going to give it a sprite. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to go into crosshairs. We're going to pick one that looks kind of cool. I like that one. So I'm going to change this into a sprite. And we're going to make it, so it's a 64 by 64, let's just make it 64 for pixels to units. And hit apply. And now if we go into our image and drag crosshair 9 into the sprite here, we have a reticle. And if we choose set native size, it will automatically set it to be pixel sized with the screen, so that's awesome. And that'll maintain, it just moves the position based on... Yeah, it's not resizing good. Isn't that awesome? So we've got our reticle in there. So now this will just follow the camera if we move the camera around. I'm going to go ahead and put a mouse look on the camera just so that you can see that. Add component mouse look. We've had it in the project for a while now. All right, so let's go 90, 90, and the rest seems fine. And we won't be able to see that we're moving anything around because we don't have any point of reference. I'm just going to create a sphere real quick. I'm going to move the camera down so that it's in line with the sphere. Let's create a light. And so if we hit play, oh, well, there we go. Where is it? There it is. You can see we have a reticle. It works. Yay. So that was the easy part. So now let's do something a little bit more fun. Let's make it so that we can target an object. And this object gets a box around it. And once the object is targeted, it stays targeted, and we get a little bit of, maybe if we have some time, we'll put some like HUD info on it as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to add another image to our canvas. Let's create a UI image. And this one, we're going to use my target box texture here I made. I'm going to go into sprite. This one is 16 by 16, so I'm going to make the pixels to unit 16. And what else are we doing here? I think that's all we need. I'm going to hit apply. And then we're going to put this onto our image. I'm going to call this one the site. And this one is target box. So we're going to put target box on the target box. I'm going to stop more notifications from coming in. And so now I have the target box. I'm going to set it to the native size. It's super small. And that's okay. So the other thing I want to do, actually I don't want to set it to the native size. I'm going to undo that. So we've got this big old box here. And you can see that it doesn't look the way that we want it to. We would rather this be like pixel perfect, right? We can do this. So if we go into our target box, and we go to sprite editor, there's these border settings, and you can also grab these little handles here that allow you to make this thing automatically stretch in a really intelligent way. So if we do this will mean that the corners won't stretch, these will only stretch vertically, which is fine, and these will only stretch horizontally. So what'll happen here, in theory, if we hit apply, is if we go into our target box and choose image type sliced, it doesn't fix anything. So why didn't that fix things as well as I had hoped? If we go back to target box, Okay, well, I kind of expected that to go a little differently. I kind of expected this to be a pixel-sized thing around... I swear I got this working before. Alright. Well, let's at least make it look less blurry. I'm going to go ahead and change it to point filtering. Hit apply. So at least it's not blurry now. I really wanted that to be a nice little a little 1 pixel line target box. Sliced. Maybe canvas needs to have something on it? No, it doesn't. What if I do pixel perfect? Well, that's kind of nice, but I don't want that. Huh. Alright, well, we'll just deal with how it is for right now, and if I run into the solution later, we'll do that. So let's just work with it how it is. It doesn't look bad, it just doesn't look the way I was expecting it to. So now we've got this target box, but we want it to go around things that are in the scene, and we want it to properly show the size of that thing. So what we're gonna do is... Oh, maybe it's because I need to use scale. Hold on. If we set this to the native 16 by 16, why does that seem really wrong? And then we scale this up. Does it work? 5 by 5. Wow, that does some weird things. Alright, if we go back to... I can't set native size anymore. If I just do simple and set native size. Huh. I thought this was 16 by 16. It looks like it is. Alright, I'm spending too much time on this. Who cares? We don't care. 100 by 100, I guess. And then if we scale this down... Here, let's just make it so that it's the size of an object. 64 by 64. That's about right for... Alright, yeah, let's do that. So 64 by 64, and then we can scale up from here. This is already looking so stupid. Alright, whatever. Let's get this done. So, what we're going to do is we're going to create a script. Create a C# script called Target Manager. And this script, I'm going to go ahead and put it on the target box. And we're going to start writing some scripting. So what we're going to have is a public game object target. And what else do we need? Honestly, I think we just need the transform. So let's do transform target. And let's do a public float scale multiplier equals 1.0 f. And then what we're going to do is in update, let's just we'll just keep this public so that we can just test it first. So all we're going to do is we're not going to worry about the targeting portion of it yet. We're just going to make it so that something is targeted, and all we're going to do is transform.position equals we'll see if this works. Camera dot world point camera dot main dot 2. So we've got screen to viewport point. We want world to screen point. I think will be the most useful one. So we'll convert a point in 3 space to our thing. So world to screen point, and the world position that we're going to use is target dot position. And in theory, if we save that out, let's see what happens. So we're going to go onto our sphere, and I'm going to go to the target box. We got the target manager here. I'm just going to throw a sphere onto it. And if we hit play, alright, so the reticle's freaking out. Alright, cool. So the reason it's freaking out is because we can't actually see the object, so it does some things when it's behind us too. So we're going to have to fix that. But as you can see, we now have a reticle. It actually, it's weird, it has a little bit of a lag to it. I think that's the new UI system. I kind of like that, but at the same time, That's a little annoying too. All right, cool. So let's see if it actually follows the object. So like if I pause the game and we move, well, we don't want the game paused, but I'm going to just bring it over here so that we can move things at the same time. And let's look at, I'm just going to turn off mouse look real quick. We're just going to turn this off. And I'm just going to zero out our view so we can see the object. And if we move the object, so if we take the sphere and just move it around, you'll see that the reticle moves around with it. So that's cool. All right, so I think I know why there's a lag. I think we're getting into the difference between when the camera is updating our rotation and when the camera.main is grabbing the conversion, so there's a lag there. We might be able to fix that. I'm not going to worry too much about it just yet. So the other thing is, if we were to say take the sphere and move it closer to the camera, it won't scale with the sphere. It'll just stay around it, which might be what you want in certain cases, but I would imagine that most of the time it's not what you want. You would want this box to stay around it. So let's use the renderer.bounds to figure out that. So what we're going to do is transform.scale. I'm going to go with local scale, equals, what we're going to use is target.renderer.bounds. And so this gives us, this is a rect, so it's not quite as useful as an XYZ thingy for us. So center extents, I think extents is what we want. Let's double check. Unity, I don't remember what these are called. Bounds. Let's just call it bounds. All right. So if we do this will always be half the size, total size of the box. This is twice as large as the extents. All right, let's give it a shot with the size. So dot size, and let's just go with that. So if we hit play now, we might get some weird looking artifacts initially. All right, so it's looking okay. Let's again turn off this mouse. Let's just permanently turn it off for right now. And let's see what happens if we move the sphere in closer. I have a feeling this doesn't work. Yep, it's not working. Target, did I save this? I did. Target renderer bound size. I'm not getting any errors. Maybe local scale doesn't mean anything on these elements. Would have expected it to affect these things, but here, let's try it. Let's render bounds. Is this in pixels, or is this? All right, let's try something different. Let's do transform dot, what do we have for the new 2D stuff? I would have expected this to just work. Let's try lossy scale, just see if lossy scale, let's just see if this does anything. Play console. Lossy scale cannot be assigned is real. Oh, wait. Okay, well, we can't use that. So local scale it is. So let's do a quick printout here of our local scale. So debug.log local scale. This might have to become a two-parter. Transform.local scale. Let's see what we get. Let's also, just for safety's sake, do say local scale plus, and this one will be renderer.bounds.size plus. So now we'll know what these each are, and we'll make this actually be the target renderer.balance at size. And let's see what we get printed out. So if we hit play, so we see 1.0, 1.0, and if I was to bring the sphere any closer, it totally doesn't change at all, does it? Still just 1.0s all across the board. Huh. This is what we have targeted, right? If I go in here, we've got target manager sphere. That's the sphere, yeah. That's it. It has a renderer. All right, let's try a different value. Let's try renderer.bounds.extents just for the fun of it. Extents, save, play. Ooh, looking better. No. Why is this always returning the same size? If I scale the sphere, does it change? Okay, it does. For some reason, I thought this gave screen space information. I guess it didn't. I guess that makes sense. All right. So, yeah. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and do... So it's just basing it on the scales, not basing it on the distance. Okay, I know what we can do. Let's change our approach slightly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually create a new canvas. Create a, what is it called? UI canvas. Let's see how this works. And this canvas we're going to do as a world space canvas. We're going to put our target box into the canvas. We're going to put this, we're going to put the, so now this should work as an object in the scene. We're going to make the width and height much smaller. Let's do 16 by 16. Actually, let's do 60. What was the size of our target box? 64. So let's do 64 by 64. 64 by 64. And then target box is width height 64 by 64. And we're going to, I'm just going to, for right now, place this on the sphere. I just want to see if this will work. And we want the positions to be 0, 0. Why is the width and height gigantic again? This should be 64 by 64. There we go. And so now if we go to the target box, all we're going to be doing now is, now we don't want to change the position anymore because we've got that tied to there. We're just playing around with this, right? So size. When you run into things, just start tweaking stuff until you get something that you like. So now if we go into the game, until I can't see the reticle at all. But if I was to make it bigger, would I see it? I can't make it bigger. If I was to make it bigger, there it is. Oh, it's gigantic for some reason. It's like way bigger than the object. Oh, because we're in screen space. These no longer mean pixels. So let's make this 1 by 1. And then let's make the canvas size like... Yeah, let's just make sure that it fills the screen enough that we can use it. So 64 by 64 is fine. So let's go back. Target box, 1 and 1. Alright, cool. So now if we do the scaling here, can't scale. Okay, I can. Though we're getting that stupid artifact of having it by 1 by 1. Maybe if we make this bigger pixel scene, 64 by 64 or something, hit apply. Let's see what that does. God, didn't do anything. Alright, well, this isn't great so far. Can we scale the canvas? Is this something we can scale? Oh, it is. Okay, perfect. Let's do it in here. Let's do one more try here. So we're going to make the width 16 by 16. Then we're going to scale the canvas some amount. So what we're going to do is I'm going to change the target manager. I'm going to copy component. We're going to remove component. We're going to paste this onto the canvas now. And scale multiplier. Let's make the scale multiplier like 0.25. And then if we hit play, theoretically, it didn't resize anything. So, local scale, target.render.bounds.size. Oh, I see. So if we go in here right now, oh yeah, I didn't actually multiply in times. This is what the whole point of the scale multiplier was. Scale multiplier. Save. Now if we hit play, it should become a little bit smaller. Hopefully. There we go. Alright, it became smaller. We need it to be smaller still. Let's zoom it down to like, yeah, 0.13 looks perfect. So now if we move the sphere through the scene in Z, alright, so I still would prefer it that the reticle wasn't scaling, but at least it's actually following the object around properly. Alright, let's start with this let's stop here so that I don't blow over time too much, and we're going to continue this as part 2 on tomorrow's episode at 8 a.m. PDT. I'm just going to save this scene and check it in so that you guys can check it out. This is called Reticle Test 1 is what we're going to call it. Throw that into reticles. Alright. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you had a good time. Sorry that it wasn't as complete as things sometimes are, but you know, sometimes code happens, right? So, thank you very much for watching. You can email me, pushypixels@pushypixels.com if you have any questions. You can also tweet me at Drakfire, that's DRAKFYRE. And yeah, have a good one, and I'll see you tonight with the light gun episodes, and we'll continue this where we left off tomorrow.